Talk about how businesses that use customer relations management, how this can be super beneficial, because I see it as the wave of the future for it.
Yeah, 100%. So I said this on stage at InvestFest. I'll say it again. It's not going to be an AI that takes your job. It's going to be a human that's using AI that's going to take your job. And so when you're thinking about customer relationship management systems, whether you're using a Salesforce, whether you're using like a Nimble CRM, if you're using like a HubSpot, if you're using like a Zoho to be able to like track your customers, there are softwares out there that have things what they call lead scoring, right? So like AI generated lead scoring. So if you're using maybe you're doing like cold sales or cold calls, or you're like collecting customer leads, these types of plugins inside of your CRM systems use AI to help you understand who is the best potential lead for what you're doing. There's a platform, it's called Sense8, I believe it is. I'll have to look it up once we go through this presentation, and I'll drop a link to it. But it like, cause like HubSpot's version of that is like super expensive, like $1,000 a month, right? There's this platform called Sense8 that offers like predictive lead scoring based on your CRM, based on your communication with them, based on your preferences and what you say is like your ideal customer. And they offer like a 3-month free trial. And then after that, it's like $400 or $500 a month. So it's much cheaper than what's built into HubSpot, and it can plug into HubSpot and pull your data. So I think a few different ways that you can use it. I think using predictive lead scoring is important, but also, you know, as we talk about conversational AI, this is another area where you can use AI to communicate with those customers that are in your CRM on your behalf, right? So when you're thinking about like, let's say, information management, right? Let's say that you got customers who might have commonly asked questions, or you're a startup and you've taken investment money and your investors are going to have questions about your traction, or even your staff as you're bringing new people in and there's ways of doing things and they may not remember everything from the training. You could set up chatbots that can interact with these different groups of people and provide them information. So for customers, a very low level type of chatbot without you having to like turn on ChatGPT and use it in your business, there are these things called FAQ bots, right? So if you already have like a frequently asked questions about your business, you can plug it in to one of these chatbots. Actually, Microsoft has one for free called Q&A Maker, and you can plug it in and it'll take your Q&A and it'll automatically make a chatbot that you can just plug into your website completely free, so people can ask questions about your cancellation policy, your business, about where you're at. And like Q&A Maker isn't just for you to like take the literal FAQ section. You could plug all the content about your website in that. If you're talking about internal operations, right? Like let's say you have I don't know, like a customer service associate role, and you don't want them asking you 90 questions about when and when not to give a discount or give a customer a refund. You could create like a Q&A bot for that and make it so that your internal employees can use it. Same thing with like the investor metrics. And again, Q&A Maker is a 100% free tool. There's a whole bunch of tools out there that are like this that you can use. The second piece where you can use kind of chatbot specifically is around time management. So being able to automate the setup and management of appointments, meetings, and bookings, right? So if you're a service-based business, like let's say you provide, you know, finance consultations or credit consultations, or you provide literal services like, hey, I'm going to come give you a haircut, or I'm going to come put your lashes on. Instead of you having to do all of that communication back and forth through text, through WhatsApp, through Messenger, through like Instagram DM, you know what I'm saying? Where you're like going across 10 different things and trying to remember when people are coming and adding it to a calendar, just grab a booking chatbot. These chatbots automatically communicate with people. They manage your availability. As soon as somebody books an appointment, you can make them pay before they book if you have a deposit. And then it automatically puts it on your calendar. And then it automatically sends the people like the email of like, hey, your appointment's coming up. Do you want to reschedule or cancel? And then like, if they don't show up, you get to keep the deposit. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff can all be done in one software, as opposed to you doing it through 50 different things. And there are versions of these kind of like booking chatbots that even accept payments in things like Cash App or Venmo. And so, you know, you can go find those tools out there. They're little like, you know, booking and scheduling bots, or even plugins for like the Shopify chatbot that they have. There's a plugin you can get that does that to really streamline that part of your business and open your time back up. And the last part is around process automation. So using AI to complete tasks that would normally require human effort, right? So if you know that you're going to have to look at your CRM and see the open leads and send them all an email, then you could use, like a Zapier or like a Make, which are these tools that let you do like plug in one tool and create little custom rules. Like if the person's lead is open and I haven't emailed them in the last 7 days, then send them an email. Right. And you could use AI to generate those emails. So you don't have to. Right. So you could add a little step in there. It's like, go to Chat GPT and generate a personalized follow-up email, then send that email. So you can use AI, especially in conversational AI, these chatbots, these large language models, to help you automate those processes as well. And finally, when you're thinking about operations, right, you think about wanting to use AI to accelerate or stabilize those tasks that you have to do day to day as a business to be able to survive. So the first part is around data analysis, being able to understand patterns across your data or create visualizations of data. There's a tool out there called Gamma. And Gamma is a presentation AI tool, right? And so if you are someone who's like me, like as nice as this deck kind of looks, y'all, this is about as good as it gets for me. I can't design. I cannot draw. I could code an AI to do it for me. But me and my like pitch decks, I'm terrible. So being able to use Gamma has really changed my life in terms of like creating data visualizations. There's another tool out there. It's called Columns that plugs into your data and automatically creates visualizations, and you can customize them. And it's like, you can go on one of those websites like AppSumo and get like a lifetime subscription to it. You know what I'm saying? Like for like $50 and forever have access to this data visualization tool. And the tool also gives you information about the data that you're pulling up, or this is where you would plug it into like a Chat GPT and ask it questions. Just make sure it's not making nothing up when you do that, right? And then you have what we call knowledge mining. So how do you use AI to understand how your business is functioning and your business health? Again, this is going to be inside of the tools you're already using, like HubSpot or Salesforce CRM. They're already going to have like AI functions that tell you like, hey, here's a risk score that tells you how, much of your business is at risk of not closing, or like the performance of your employees. So just turning on those kinds of tools and functions that are already in the apps you're using is critical. And of course, for knowledge sharing, right? So building those internal chatbots, building those internal knowledge-based databases, even fine-tuning a Chat GPT or a version of like, Gemini to work specifically on your data. Like Moderna just did this with 750 custom GPTs. And so overall, you have these 3 task specific kind of tools around using it to, identify and engage your customers, on how to actually communicate with your customers or your stakeholders on your behalf. So how do you scale yourself? And then around the operations, how do you understand how your business is operating, communicate that to other people? And I'll pause there because that's a lot of info.